freeze up my phone. All right, we're going to try this again. Hopefully nobody calls and freezes up my phone. Okay, so here we go again. So basically, where was I at? Okay, so we ended up in foster care because my mom was abusive to me and my sister. And my two stepbrothers went with their dad. So while we was in foster care, my dad was going to leave my stepmom because she was abusive to me and my sister. And while he was trying to get us back, he had a girlfriend, on the side. And my stepmom found out about that. Make a long story short, so while we was in defects or in foster care, as soon as the day before we was going back to be with my dad, my stepmom decided to kill my dad. So basically, what happened, and no, she didn't go to jail, because what happened was they was in a car, and every time they would get in the car, my stepmom would pull the wheel. They would get the fight in or whatever, so she would pull the steering wheel when we was in the car. So at this point in time, and if it's noisy, it's people walking by where I'm at. So she pulled the wheel, and my dad went out the front window, and the car ran him back over. She was in ICU, but she lived, and there was no other car involved. So she never did, get locked up. So we stayed in foster care, me and my sister did. Then I'm only going to be in here like 20 minutes. I'm just going to, break it down from the beginning, just little by little. So then what happened was I started getting real stressed out. I didn't do good in no foster homes. And I went to a behavioral treatment center called Devro. It's I think it's in Marietta, Georgia. It's for people with behavior problems, adolescents, kids. And I went to Inner Harbor. That's in Douglasville, Georgia. It's another treatment facility that I stayed there until I finally ran away. I was a teenager. I stayed there for about 4 or 5 years, and then I finally ran away and stayed on the streets. But in the process of that, I had got real sick. I started getting real stressed, and I couldn't handle what was going on. So I developed ulcerative colitis, which is caused by stress. The doctor said I was probably the youngest patient that ever got ulcerative colitis. So what happened after that was, people just keep walking by and talking, but what happened after that was I had a colostomy bag for a year, which was my intestines was out on my stomach, and I had a bag where that's where all my bowel movement went in and so forth. And so eventually, about a year later, that got reversed, and now I have a J pouch. So I have a J pouch now, but I still have ulcerative colitis. I don't have the colostomy bag. And then eventually, I don't know how many kids I had. They said I would never have kids because of all of my stomach problems, but of course I did. I had 7 kids, been pregnant. This is my 10th pregnancy. I had 2 miscarriages. But in the beginning, they said I wouldn't be able to have kids, but I was able to. Make a long story short. And then I don't know how many kids I had, but I think in my 20s, I had a bowel obstruction, which, because of all the surgeries I had on my stomach, my intestines obstructed, and I was in the hospital for 6 months, almost died. I think I was in my 20s when that happened. Okay, so leading back up to while I was in foster care and in the behavior facility, hospital, all that. One day I was able to run away. I think I was, I don't know exactly how old I was. I'm just going to say 16. I'm just going to throw an age out there, somewhere around there. Anyways, I ran away from the facility, and I ran away. I ran away to Atlanta, which is called, there's a street called Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta, where a lot of girls are on the streets, selling themselves, should I say, stuff like that. Anyways, so I was, just staying in abandoned houses. I was young, I didn't know, and I met this guy. Think he was like in his 20s. I didn't know what pimps and all that stuff was. I didn't know nothing about it. I was still, young. But making a long story short, I met him, and he took me to this hotel, and yeah, he took me to this hotel, and we did whatever. I ended up pregnant, but I didn't know I was pregnant until I was, I think, months, because I didn't know. I think I was like 4 or 5 months when I went to the doctor and I found out. But making a long story short, he told me that, since I didn't have nowhere to go, basically, he got me a place to stay. He put me up in a hotel, and I thought that I'd rather be in a hotel than on the streets, and plus I was running from defects. So basically, yeah, I'd rather be there. So basically, he made me start, being on the streets and, selling my body, stuff like that. Eventually, what happened with that was, I went to the hospital because I wasn't feeling good, to emergency room. And I found out I was like 5 months pregnant, and I didn't know what to do. So the process, I had a foster mom for a very short period, and then she put me back into the behavior treatment center, Devereaux. But I still trusted her, and I still taught somewhat to her to this day. So she let me come back and stay with her, and so she let so defects didn't mind, because I was still state custody until I was 18. So once I was there with her, they was trying to take my baby from me. Make a long story short, once I found that out, because I was still state custody, so they can take your kid away when you're state custody. So I moved out. I'm just telling you part of the beginning, and then I'll finish some of it tomorrow and then the next day. And then so anyways, I moved out, and I moved with, I think, my mom's sister, and she was also a call girl, and she had me doing that same thing that I told you the guy I was pregnant with. And then I found out the guy that I was pregnant with, he went to the feds because he was pimping out underage girls. So he did 5 years in the feds. So he never got to meet my son, and I'll talk about what happened to him later on in another thing. So he never got to meet my son. So when I was staying in an apartment with my aunt, defects came right before, because I was still custody, and they found out where I was living with my aunt, and they came, and they knocked on the door with probably 20 police. And at that time I was in Carrollton, Georgia, and they knocked on the door, and I opened the door, and they was like, "Give us your baby and come with us," or whatever. So they took the baby and they put him in a foster home. They took me, tried to put me back into a placement. And then they never did give me a chance, because I was state custody, to get my son back. So they let this couple, and my son's mixed, his dad was black. So they let this couple, this Caucasian couple, adopt him out. And I never did get to see him or nothing. I really erased that out of my life. But later on, that's going to be another story. But later on, so you understand, he had found me on Facebook when he was 14. And to this day now, yes, I have contact with him. He stays with his girlfriend, and he doesn't mess with those people. He like his adopted family, because he wants to be with me. And so after that happened, when I turned 18, I finally was able to, get out of, the state custody, sign myself out or whatever. But at that point, my real mom, she wasn't nothing but a, drug head, and she sold me and my sister to my dad when we were younger. So that's why he raised us. But she had called defects, and told them, gave them her number. And so I went to go stay with her. Make a long story short, and I'm gonna be on. It's about 10 minutes. I'm gonna be on here about 20 more minutes, and then I'll break it up, just trying to give you the rundown, so when I do tell the stories you'll understand what's going on. Okay, so basically I went and stayed with my mom, my real mom that I didn't know, and she used to always call the police, try to put me out when she got drunk. She was smoking drugs. um, I don't know if I can say it on here, but she was doing drugs, smoking it. And of course, I didn't know nothing about that. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah, she called the police on me one time. She got drunk, and the police told me to leave, but I didn't have nowhere to go. And so I went back, because it's my mom's house, even though I was 18, like a few hours later when they told me not to. And that was in Rome, Georgia. And then she called the police back, and after she told me I can come back, and I went to jail. That was my first time, I think, going to jail, or was that my second? I'll tell about my first time. Yeah, this might have been my second time for criminal trespass, because she called the police. Then she came and bonded me out. Then she came and bonded me out, and then she finally, once she sobered up, let me come stay with her. And I think that was the first time while I was living with her. Yeah, I'm trying to think. That was the first time that I started doing drugs, I think. Yes. Yeah, my mom was very jealous of me. And she used to tell people, so guys wouldn't try to talk to me because I was always real prettier than her. She would go, like, if I would get a boyfriend, she would say, oh, she got AIDS, or, just try to get people not to talk to me. So I guess she was so jealous of me, and I was so young, that she introduced me to drugs. And one time I was in a room, she like, here, try this, and I did it. I got addicted to it. And I don't know if I can say it, but it's the C word. It's cola, but you smoke it. But yeah, so I got addicted to that, and I think I stayed on it for a few years, and then I probably got clean. That'll come eventually. And then, so after I stopped staying with my mom, because she kept putting me out and calling the police, I went to Atlanta, back to Atlanta, because she was in the country, in the room. And oh, your hand was on the mic. Okay, sorry. Did you hear what I said before that? I said, I think that was the first time. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, I said I think was the first time that I tried drugs, was my mom got me hooked to it. She gave me a pipe or whatever and told me to do it. So that's when I got addicted to drugs. That was the first time. Make a long story short, she kept putting me out. She kept doing this to me and doing that. And so I went to Atlanta, and the only thing I really knew was what what my baby daddy had taught me. So that's what I started doing. Started being a call girl, start doing this, and then I met another guy, and he had other girls, and so that's what I started doing to make money. And I think really, I think I really got addicted to it, because I started doing it on my own too, even before the guys was putting me out there. So really, I just didn't care no more, so I just started doing it on my own. Up until this point, I probably stopped doing that maybe, because I've been doing it off and on my whole life, probably about a year ago. But we'll get into all that. But anyway, so yeah, I was on the streets then, mostly my whole life doing that. Then, hold on for a second. Hold on. Okay, so then I was on the streets doing that. And then I went out of town um, to Texas or DC, and then I met this other guy, and he was, had a lot of girls and stuff. And I started doing that for him or whatever. But he was from Texas, so then he drove me back to Texas. So then I got pregnant. I got pregnant with my daughter, which is, I think she's going on 17 now. My oldest daughter, I think she's going on 17. But anyway, I got pregnant with her. So from Texas, I came back to Atlanta, where I'm from, and I had her. And then instead of being on the streets, the end of my pregnancy, I went to my foster mom's house, and she helped me. But then she kept called defects on me, of course, because I was doing drugs the whole time I was pregnant with my daughter. And I think I did drugs all the way till I was 9 months, just to be honest, because I was, on the streets, living on the streets and whatever else I was doing. And those other stories will come. But eventually I had my daughter, and the last month I stopped doing anything. So wouldn't nothing be in my daughter's system when I had her. Hold on. So wouldn't nothing be in my daughter's system when I had her, and defects wouldn't be called and all that stuff. So, make a long story short, with that, what happened with that was, I had her, I didn't have defects in my life, nothing, even though they tried, I didn't get her took away because I didn't have drugs in my system when I had her, and she didn't have drugs, even though I did it while I was pregnant. When she was born, I didn't have drugs. But, make a long story short, I met this guy, at Walmart, and, I didn't want to keep staying with my foster family, so I end up, trying to, stay with him. And then I got pregnant right after I had Michaela, or my daughter, and then got pregnant again. And hold on, I'm trying to wipe this microphone. Okay, so then I got pregnant again, and I was staying with the guy or whatever. And my foster mom, because I was still in the streets and stuff, really back and forth, she started helping me with my 2 kids that I had. And then she started trying to, take them, as that go or whatever. And then, hold on. That didn't work. So there was this lady that I started staying with in Atlanta. And she started helping me out with my kids, so forth, so forth. I was still working on the streets, to take care of my kids. That's the only thing I knew. That's the only thing I knew was, taking care of my kids. How to take care of them was on the streets. So I stayed with this lady. She helped me. And then I met this other guy while I was on the, I guess you want to call it the blade or whatever. I ended up pregnant again by him. And at this point, I didn't have nobody to help me take care of 3 kids. Somebody introduced me to this lady. It was an older lady. She used to be a foster mom, so forth, so forth. So while I would work doing this, she would take care of my kids. And, I thought I trusted her or whatever. Make a long story what happened with that. In the end, she kidnapped my kids, and to this day she has 2 of them. I'm just telling y'all bits and pieces, so when I do start telling my story, you'll understand a little bit. To this day she has 2 of my kids, and I got one of them to run away, which is my daughter that I have now. She ran away probably about 3 years ago, but she still has 2 of them in California somewhere. They haven't found her, and her son the daughter that I have now that I got to run away, she was with them on the streets, and she's in counseling right now. And then I had other kids after that, but they're safe. They're with their my baby dads. But what I'm going through with my daughter right now, we got her in counseling because she said that the lady, Miss Gladys, that has my daughter and a son right now. When I went to prison, basically, I had to give her temporary guardianship, and because I had nobody else. And when I got out of prison, I revoked her guardianship. Make a long story short, and I've been had custody of all three of those kids since I got out of prison in 2015. Um, and basically, my daughter now has told her counselors and everybody else that her son, because she had a son that was staying with her, that her son was touching my little girl and raping her and was selling them on the streets, and stuff like that. I don't know where the other two are. They're still with the babysitter, Gladys, and her son, somewhere in California or Texas. I don't know. She took them across the state somewhere. They're still looking for them. But the ones that she has are one of them's going on 17, and man's going on either 11. Yeah, he's 11, I think. So my daughter that I have that ran away from her, and then I got younger kids, 10, 11, that's with the baby daddies, and I got another one that's with the baby daddy that's safe. But my daughter now is, she has a lot of behavior problems, and I was able, because she was always with me, even though, so me and her was always real close. So I was able for her to get to run away. That's why I went to Chattanooga, because they was, in Tennessee, just at a hotel, and she hit me up on Instagram, and while everybody was asleep, she ran away. This was about 3 years ago. So now I'm going through it with her, because she said that, telling us stories and what's going on, and even though I have custody of the other kids, I can't. I mean, they're trying to track this lady down. She's like 70 years old, an older lady with her 30-something-year-old son. And I don't know. But all I know is hopefully they'll find the kids and her. But she's on, the lady's on Social Security. So I guess they always stayed, my daughter said they always stayed in the van, and that they would make my daughter and both of my daughters and my son stand on the street, because they would live in hotels, and in her van they would make them stand on the street with signs begging for money. And then my daughter said that the daughter I got now, she's 14. She'll be 15 September. But she said that the guy, her son, used to always touch her and molest her and my other daughter. So I don't know. I haven't talked to them, the other kids. And also, she told my kids, because she got all my other two kids thinking I'm dead. She told all of them that I was dead. So my kids was thinking I was dead until my daughter was smart enough to look me up. That's why I made a Facebook, if they was ever to find me. So they thought I was dead. So that's why they never did try to get in touch with me. So I don't know about the other kids. I just hope that, finally, they'll find them, because, the investigator and stuff is, helping, track these people down. But they go from hotel to hotel, so it's not really that easy. And plus, they're all the way on the other side. But anyways, it's been about 24 minutes. So I'm just telling y'all pieces by pieces. So when I do, break it up in parts, you kind of understand, from then to now. Are you okay? And yes, I'm gonna tell y'all about what's going on with me now. Yeah, I'm in a safe place. I told y'all I'm good. I'm in a safe place. I told you I was in a shelter, and I'm good. And my daughter's safe, and my other kids are safe. And to this point on, yes, I'm getting myself together. And I'm going to talk about that at a later time, and piece by piece. And really, I was just trying to let y'all know, little by little. Almost tomorrow, each time I'm gonna do like 20 to 30 minutes. I'm just trying to give you, a little bit of the story. So when I do talk about other stuff, you understand what's going on. So tomorrow when I go live, I will, talk about the other half. So you understand. And that's it. I'm just looking to see if, y'all have any questions before I get off here. What about, yeah, I'm gonna, also, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm going to look into that this week, about a P.O. box. I just got so much stuff going on this week, as far as I got court tomorrow. Even though I'm changing my life now, I got my past still coming back to haunt me. It's not over. So I have court in the morning, and that's that. So I'm just trying to get everything together because I've only been clean for a few months. So I'm trying to get everything. Plus, I have to, every morning I get up and have to catch the bus to the clinic every morning. Because like I said, I'm on methadone, so I go every morning to dose. So by that time I'm so tired. And I just got a lot of stuff going on with courts and my daughter, and then my other kids, and then counseling and this and that and everything else. So hopefully I'll be able to talk about some more of it tomorrow. I'm gonna go live every day just to break it up, just giving you a little insight. So when I do decide to have a story time, you can kind of follow. Yes, I'm going to get a P.O. box this week. Sounds like most of the kids are with your baby fathers. Yeah. My daughter's with me. My oldest son is basically with me, and he stays with his girlfriend. The other kids are kidnapped, and the other kids were with their baby daddies, with my baby daddies, with their daddies. And that's it. Wait, if you have, well, you gotta take care of the bus. Yeah, I do. Blessing just posted it. Ernestine Thomas. Um, Somebody said they can give me information how to get your treatment in longer doses if you would like it. It helps. It's hard when you gotta take the bus, etc. Yeah, if you can let me know, because I'm just going to a clinic every morning. I have to go. I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning, and go to the clinic. And I already got a certain time to get out at the shelter, and then be in at a certain time. So yeah, if you have information on how to do that, that'd be great. Um, yeah, I haven't went to the doctor yet. I'll talk about that at another time. There's a few pregnancies I didn't even go to the doctor not one time, and that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna explain that another time. Um, yeah. Take home doses. Yeah, I'm just now starting to get. You have to give a clean drug screen every month to get take home. So I'm just not getting take homes for Saturday, so I don't have to go on Saturday because I've been peeing clean. So that's what I'm working on for that. um and again, and also, what's your longest clean time? My longest clean time is probably when I went to prison for 3 years. And that's gonna be another story about prison. That's gonna be another story about prison, about why I went to prison, what happened in prison, all that. I'm gonna touch on all that. Um, Blessing, can you people keep asking about my thing. Can you post that Any more questions before I get off here, and I'll explain some more other stuff. But I don't have a camera yet, so it's really gonna be hard because I would. And I don't know how to edit yet. That's why I'm just doing it on live. I'm trying to get people to help me, or somebody I trust to help me. I don't really have no friends, so I don't even know how to do this computer stuff. But I'm gonna figure out how to edit because so I can when I go to court or whatever, I can do that. But I don't know. I guess I don't even know how to do that. Like how I can turn it on. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get somebody to help me do this, like editing and doing all this other stuff, because I don't know how to do all this stuff. Yeah, but I'm talking about like the videos, like how to edit, like if I do a story time or whatever, instead of going live telling it, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do that. Like, or like for instance, if I go to court, like when I go to court tomorrow, how some people, take you, I don't know how to do that. So I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I haven't went to the doctor yet. For some reason, when I get pregnant, I just stay in denial till the baby even gets here. I've always. That's another story. I'm gonna tell y'all about that another time. Any more questions before I get on here? Get off here. Watch videos. Yeah, it's hard trying to figure that stuff out because I am not computer smart. I am not none of that. I'm just trying to figure it out all on myself, by myself. If you work hard, you can get someone that I don't know nobody. I don't have friends except for the people on here that email me and stuff, and so half of them don't have a channel, so they don't even know. It's an app. Download my movie. It's an app. Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. I have to be in court at 8 o'clock, and it's just from old stuff. Everything's catching up with me. Everything is catching up with me, and no, I'm not afraid because it's all minor stuff. Driving on suspended license, stuff like that. I do have, not what I'm going for tomorrow. I used to have a Facebook. I stopped doing Facebook and stuff. I stopped that. I have IG, but I don't even go on it no more. And I don't even know my Facebook thing. I let that go months ago, cause too many problems. But I do have a who is that? Ernestine Thompson. I do have a Cash App. Your daughter might. Yes. I've already tried to get my daughter to help me. She don't know nothing about YouTube either. She don't even know how to. She says she don't know how to edit either. But I'm gonna find somebody. Any more questions before I get off here, y'all? Oh, how long do I have to stay at the shelter? They're helping me try to get housing. Um, yes, Kendrick something. Yeah, I don't know. And y'all have a good night. I'm about to get off here, and then I'll come on here when I get out of court tomorrow. I'm going to try to let me see, because I know you can't have phones in there. I'm going to I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I might make a video of me going in there and try to hide my phone. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna figure something out when I go tomorrow. I'll try to make a video and get someone to edit it. And yeah, they're helping me really fast. I just got to this shelter not too long ago when I came back from Florida, so a lot of things are they are packed. So, and they're trying to help a lot of people with housing. So it's not going to be much longer before I get a place. Even if they're trying to get me into They're trying to get me into like this little studio apartment thing for right now, just anything, a hotel, anything. Since I'm pregnant, they're getting me into it. Hopefully by next week, I'm hoping and praying. Please ask permission to record. Okay, I don't know them hotel. I mean, those courthouses are so strict. I doubt they let me do that. I'll probably record me going like in the front or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Um. All right. Okay. Somebody said, how long do you have to stay outside until you go back inside the shelter? No, you have to get out early in the morning. You can't go back until evening, late evening, because they want you to look for jobs. She might be able to record a sound. Oh yeah, I might do that. Do you work? No, not right now. I'm applying. I mean, this is my first time ever. I mean, this is my first time ever gonna have a real job, so it's kind of hard going transitioning from the fast life to the normal life. All right, I won't then. And yes, I'm going to even what it doesn't matter what other people say. I'm going to keep doing this because yeah, you're right. My story can help some other people what I've been through, because I do have a lot of stories to tell. This is just not even half of it. I'm not gonna record it. I won't. All right, y'all. I'm fixing to get off here. It's fixing to rain too. Get some rest. Okay. All right. That's it. Can I? Everyone here was. Yeah, I was in jail when it happened. They did, and I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that sometime tomorrow. I'll talk about where I left off at today, and I'll talk about part of the jail incident, what happened that y'all seen on the news. I'll hit on both of them, the police car, and the other incident. All right, y'all. I'm fixing to get off here. Good night, y'all.